Welcome back, everyone. Today, we'll be taking a look at the crucial month of August in the 2024 presidential election. Normally, we would just do one prediction at the start of each month. But the race has changed so much with Kamala Harris now in the race. So much that I personally think we need to do another prediction. This doesn't override the prediction taken in August, the beginning of August. I would say this is a part two prediction to add to the August column. So we got Trump versus Harris. But before I begin, I also want to announce that even though the title says prediction, my predictions correlate with the forecast. So this is really a weather sort of forecast, whatever you want to call it. You can't go and argue that the weatherman is wrong and that it's actually not going to be storming on a certain day of the week that you were planning on. So it doesn't make sense to rage in the comments, and I'll keep the comments up unless they're really, really bad, and I'll take them down. I mean, I could just take them all down, but I just wanted to add that in. Not that I'm seeing anything, but just, we're entering into a very political. The race is tightening up. The tension is getting as escalating. We have the DNC next week. A lot of stuff could change. After that, you'll have to see in the September prediction. We could see Kamala Harris officially take the Electoral College in September. But who knows? This is the forecast of what is actually going on in an unbiased perspective, more in a domination in polls. So let's get started. It is 6 p.m. 6 p.m. is the grace hour. The grace hour or the grace period. Although Indiana and Kentucky are the official states, the two states that have opened their polls, that have closed their polls in this hour, specifically, no race will be called in this hour of 6 o'clock. There's something to know in election day, unless Trump wins Indiana by 70%, which I doubt he would. Kentucky, by the other hand, is similar, but you wouldn't hear a result from Kentucky at 6 o'clock simply because half of Kentucky is going to be primaried. I want to believe the uh, I don't know if it's this half or this half, but I want to believe the eastern half will be closing first, and then as we progress the west into 7 o'clock, the western half and the rest of Indiana will close. But yes, this is officially going to be beginning at 7 o'clock. The official races begin. All right, we can now officially call state of Vermont for Kamala Harris. 3 electoral votes going to her column. You got the state of Kentucky, the Commonwealth of Kentucky, going for Donald Trump. 8 electoral votes. The state of Indiana will be added for Donald Trump. 19 electoral, 11 electoral votes. Going on, you'll see it's 7:30 p.m. The state of West Virginia has officially called the race for Donald Trump. 23 electoral votes. Following down, 7:50, South Carolina has called their race for Donald Trump. 32 electoral votes to Harris's 3 electoral votes. Now the hour concludes with Georgia, Florida, and Virginia being too close to call. The hour concludes now. Now we're out of the grace period. I would say realistically that 7 o'clock is the start, is the end of the grace period, and now the intensity period begins, because now we have compatible states like Pennsylvania, Michigan. They have lots of electoral votes and the pressure is high. And although these states are dominantly more liberal compared to the other swing states, the Kamala Harris needs to kind of defend these states and keep the liberal, progressive ideology in those states. So let's begin. 8 o'clock p.m. starts off with Alabama and Oklahoma going for Donald Trump. Okay? Then we have a row of states: Massachusetts, Rhode Island, New Jersey, Delaware, and Maryland have called their races for Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris also picks up the state of Connecticut. You'll see Kamala Harris has the lead along with Illinois. Forgot about Illinois. Okay? Coming up next, we have the state of Tennessee. Tennessee is calling their state for Tennessee going in for Trump, of course. It's at 8:30 p.m. We can now call the state of Arkansas for Donald Trump. We can now also call the state of Ohio, going for Donald Trump by a record amount of votes. This then again boosts Trump to 82 electoral votes. Very good and wealthy to have. Virginia, still too close to call, along with North Carolina. Meanwhile, okay, now we're hitting at 9 o'clock p.m. New York has officially called its race for Kamala Harris, boosting her up to the lead of 99. She then also carries the state of Colorado, which she wins by 10. Or how about this? We'll do New Mexico first, which she gains 104 electoral votes. Kamala Harris is the first candidate to reach 104 electoral votes, but it's not over. We now have the state of Missouri being called for Donald Trump, as well as a list of states like Louisiana, North Dakota, South Dakota, Nebraska, District 1 and 2, no, 1 and 3, excuse me. District 2 is, of course, too close to call at this hour. Donald Trump, 110 electoral votes. We also have Wyoming, too. Donald Trump also wins Mississippi. Keep that in mind. Kamala Harris picks up, I would say, yeah. I don't know if we should call it yet. We can call the state of Kansas for Donald Trump, as Kamala Harris picks up votes all the way. Well, Oregon will wait for now on the Pacific coast. Washington, California, and Hawaii. 174 electoral votes so far. Harris has the advantage. Iowa goes for Trump at this hour. Donald Trump prevails in Montana, Idaho, and Utah. He will then carry the state of Texas, which boosts him in the lead with 185 electoral votes. A very good state to have, especially during this time here. We can, let's see, I'm trying to think. We can make a move and call the state of Minnesota for Kamala Harris. She also prevails in New Hampshire. Kamala Harris shall win in Colorado. Once again, boosting her to the advantage of 198. So far, it's anyone's game. I forgot to call DC. Sorry about that. Virginia will be called for Kamala Harris, boosting her to 214 electoral votes. Oregon will go for Kamala Harris, bringing her to 222 electoral votes. This just in, Donald Trump has won Nebraska's 2nd congressional district. Florida. Don't know why I didn't do it before. I forgot about Florida. Florida goes for Donald Trump. Once again, another more of a close race here. Arizona, a key swing state, will officially go to Donald Trump, bringing him in the advantage. Good sign for the Trump campaign. But on the other side, Kamala Harris picks up Wisconsin and Michigan with 247 electoral votes. Kamala Harris also wins the state of Maine, winning Maine at large. Donald Trump picks up the 2nd district of Maine, while Kamala carries the 1st district. Kamala Harris just needs 20 more electoral votes before being declared president-elect. We can now officially call at this hour North Carolina for Donald Trump, bringing him to 244 electoral votes. And now Pennsylvania will officially go to Donald Trump. Whoops. The race has suddenly become heated. Trump now has the advantage, only needing 8 electoral votes in order to win. Kamala needs 20 more. A lot can change in the last few minutes of the race. We are ready to project the state of Nevada to Donald Trump, 6 electoral votes. By now, the nation realizes that Donald Trump will most likely become the next president of the United States, winning 269 electoral votes. It doesn't really matter now. He would inevitably win Alaska. And of course, Georgia will be going to Donald Trump, who won 216 electoral votes. And Alaska going into the hands of Donald Trump. Donald Trump wins with 288 electoral votes. What has changed? Well, Wisconsin, Kamala Harris gained Wisconsin in our 2nd forecast of the month. But really, she didn't she barely lost Pennsylvania, probably by 1,000 votes. But then again, I'm guessing this will most likely be changed by the time September comes around, and we may have a more difficult situation. So what do you guys think? Let me know down in the comments below. And as always, I'll see you all in the next political episode.